training really hard and just trying to get better every single day and just trying to go about my way a little bit differently this year.
What were some of those things that you learned about yourself at the end of the season that made you wanted to focus on?
A lot of it was just trying to hit super hoppy fastballs, so a lot of spin fastballs at the top of the zone. Just working at that, trying to be super short. Just little mental cues and physical cues that me and Brant Brown have been kind of working on, and just trying to get the swing a little bit dialed and just be ready for 2026.
Joshua, last year was, I think, the most amount of games you played since you gone into minors. What did kind of that workload show you, and kind of how did that kind of influence like any of your off-season work this year?
I believe it was like 117 games, and like I was just trying to prepare every single day to stay healthy, doing my routine, stretching, just taking care of the recovery part of it so I can be ready every single night. And it's the same thing, just trying to play more games this year, hopefully get to the 162 one day, and just continue to get better.
Josh, you talked about the roller coaster. What were some of the, or who helped you, get through the rough moments? And did you have moments where you were doubting yourself at all?
My family, my mentors, like my drive, going through, like the down times, and like it definitely questions you, just being drafted high, having all these expectations, and then just hitting that brick wall, it just builds character. And I just found a way to get up and keep going every time.
Because Josh, they've talked to us a lot about whether there be changes kind of in the development program with more staff and all that. How have you seen that change over your time in the organizations? You were kind of here before, and then now it's been going through it.
It's been going upwards every single year. From the time 2021 to now, they're really involved. With the players, like they want to know about them, what they're doing, their routine to help them prepare for spring training and the season. So, I feel like the organization is going in a great direction, and we're just trying to make changes, so hopefully, bring back a championship one day.
Do you think that's maybe part of what went into last year for you? Having access to whether it's more coaches, more tech, whatever, was that maybe a little bit of a part of how last year went?
Yeah, I feel like it was just a more personalized program for me. They know me better now, so, it was more about me and not so much comparing or saying, maybe this could work for you, just going by experience and, just trying to find things that are going to continue to make me better.
Does it give you an appreciation of how hard it is to make changes in season as opposed to having an off season to kind of get your mind and your program straight?
Yeah, in season, I definitely have gone through it where it's you're trying to make changes that same night, and it definitely doesn't go too well. But if you have to do it, you just have to just kind of trust it and then just go through the process. And they tell you, hey, it doesn't matter what the start are. Just try to implement this. But when you do it in the off season, it's more of kind of like a reset. You get to play around with things, and hopefully, in spring training, it goes smoothly as it was in the off season.
Nathan, how much did the experiences you got in last season, how does that change you going into spring training this year?
A lot of it's just being a little bit more comfortable, just with everybody, like staff and the team. But yeah, mainly just trying to focus on myself and just trying to be really the best player I can be. But yeah, definitely more confident going into this season or into this spring training. But yeah, just trying to get better.
Nathan, when you get called up the first time, you don't know you're going to be there for 3 days or for a week. You were able to stay for the entire rest of the season. How did that feel for you to see that opportunity was a long one?
Yeah, it was definitely cool and cool to be up there for the rest of the season. But I'm focused on this year, just trying to make the team this year and trying to get better this year. That's kind of just really my main focus.
Nathan, over the years in the minors, your career's your offensive profile has changed from year to year. You've gotten into a little bit more power. Could you kind of talk about some of the adjustments you've made to get to that, and maybe some of the eye-opening things about yourself and your swing as you entered Major League Baseball?
Yeah, a lot of it's not really trying to put up power numbers, to be honest, to answer that question. A lot of it's just trying to get stronger in the gym and knowing how my body moves correctly is kind of the main thing. And yeah, the numbers kind of spoke for itself that way. Just put all the work in the gym and in the training room and in the cage kind of shows out on the field. Is kind of what happened.
Josh, have you been to St. Louis much? What's this visit like for you?
Yes, I first came in 2021 when I first drafted. Then I came in September for a small camp. So this is probably my third, fourth time coming. This is a great, chance to be here, to kind of know how it really works and, to be in front of you guys and just to get to know the fans. So it's a great opportunity and I'm happy to be here.
What is that experience at the ballpark? You use a small group of players, right? All the teams on the road, right?
Yeah.
What was that experience like just to kind of see what the stadium and you are aiming for?
No, we came with top prospects, guys from Memphis and Springfield. So that group of guys who are potentially going to be here in the future. So, they're just trying to build that chemistry and, we'll all meet here, hopefully soon.
Josh, any part of you kind of look around and say, this is where I want to be, kind of think about, envision, try to manifest that this is where you want to get to?
This is definitely where I want to be right next to church in season, and then do these press conferences. This is what I work for, and this is where I know that I belong.
Does that feeling kind of feel a little bit more like, does it feel closer, especially like after the season, or the season of the winter, and sort of that 41 steps, it feels a bit more like if in the year sooner rather than later?
It gives you more reassurance for sure, knowing that you're capable of, doing those certain things in real numbers, So just taking it to 2026 and trying to be positive, be a good teammate, and rock and roll.
Nathan, you said power is something you're not focusing on, but if we look at your year last year versus Springfield and Memphis, power is the part of your game that emerged among the athletes who are already doing well. How do you reconcile that?
Yeah, like I said, just the work I put in the gym and just knowing how my body moves better. I didn't really know that as much in previous years, so just understanding my body and how it moves, I think just enabled a little bit of the power surge. But yeah, not trying to do too much is also a thing. Like, I wasn't trying to hit home runs. I was basically just trying to compete and just get better every single day, which is kind of what happened.
You said as compared to past years, learning how your body moved. Is that something that the new player development regime has kind of pushed? Something that maybe in the past you hadn't seen, but now you're becoming more aware of?
Yeah, I think the org has just done a better job, especially last year, just getting players better and understanding how people go about their business and get better and put their work in the cage and in the gym. I think kind of helps. But the org, I think, did a really good job of getting people better for sure.
Nathan, when you talk to friends of yours that are in other systems and stuff, do you get a sense of where this organization is compared to others, kind of, and do you kind of now, are those conversations different for you? I don't know, when you talk to guys, is it different? Do you see that change?
I don't know if it's really comparing our org against other orgs. I think it's comparing our org with our org and just trying to get better. And our community is trying to get better. And I think the people that we brought in, not saying before people were not trying to make us better, but I think the people that we added last year, I think we're just all on the same page, and every player and staff member is on the same page trying to get us all better together.
Josh, you're a bigger guy with power, but you have really good stolen base numbers. What's your secret there? Or is it all about the jump? Is it about top end speed? What's your approach when you're trying to steal bases?
Secret is to get to know the picture, to do your homework prior to the game, and be healthy, be able to sprint every single night, and get to know their tendencies, their patterns. It's not just something where I go out there and I just run. I try to see counts, see the score, and if it falls into a pattern, I take it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.